I'm gonna open up the YouTube thing before I get into all of that. Let me open it up.
Open her up.
Not that we ever have a whole lot of comments or anything, but still, it's still cool, son.
Yeah.
YouTube hasn't started. There it is. All right, we got it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Scarcasm.
Woohoo!
Chase is not feeling very well today, so I'm just going to pretty much do all of the talking today. Chase is just going to be here to back me up. Say hello to the people. Say hello to the people, Chase.
I'm back up.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. So I go to the vape shop yesterday because I have gotten on to some new stuff. Now, I've tried a bunch of new juices and a bunch that I would like to talk about. And I just don't know how to actually really do it. And I bought new stuff. I bought a new tank. This is a Mesh Pro. And I like it, except that I hate it all at the same time.
You like it, except that you hate it.
Yes, I like it because it does what it's supposed to do. And it works very well. But here's the thing. They specialize in mesh coils, and they have double, triple, well, they have single, double, triple, and quadruple mesh coils. I have tried the 1, 2s, and 3s. But for the 2s and the 3s, they have these extra little holes on the side for juice to go through so it can get closer to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I have learned, and these things are not, it's towards the middle as far as in the tank part. I've learned that once the juice gets to where that hole is, if it goes any time below there, the top of your coil starts burning. And it's like, bruh, I've only used half a tank, and I gotta refill this thing up from half. If I want to change flavors and stuff like that, I basically have to refill it with a different juice, but deal with a combination for a whole tank until this shit runs through, and then I can taste the flavor that I just put in, which is a real pain in the ass. But so I've been vaping this stuff, the Twist line, and so I went to the store to buy some more of the iced pink. Is like an iced pink lemonade, which is really good. Because if I order it online, they only have it in a 3, and I would really like it in a 6. I mean, this is for the people who don't vape. This is way too much, and I don't really want to explain. But this is going to be a quick story. So I went and I saw that they had the Stay Salty juices. Stay Salty is Salt Nick, but made in a quantity that you can put in a regular tank.
Huh.
So
what's the point in that though? And the point of the Salt Nick is to have it super powerful.
Well, the point of the Salt Nick is most of it was for the pod devices where you got less vapor. So that means you were still trying to compensate for the amount of vapor for the nicotine hit.
Okay.
But here's the thing: when you have these that are mostly these go to is 6, because once you get your ratios out of 70-30 or whatever like that, you can't do the nick higher than that. Well, this, because of the salt, I could get this in a 12. So I went through to talk to the guy about it, and I was talking about my coworkers. Almost all of my coworkers in the office staff right now, they all I got almost everybody that smoked is vaping now. at least part time. They're all vaping now. So I wanted something with a little bit more kick to it. I gave my coworker some juice. He vapes at 3. I gave him some of my 6, and I forgot that he's a 3. And he gave it to. I went to lunch and came back. He gave that shit back to me. Was like, yeah, this shit made me loopy as fuck. But I wanted something. I wanted something stronger. But I said, I got to be careful with this. I can't really put this in the Mesh Pro because I'm gonna end up, the amount that I vape is gonna make me loopy. Because I was thinking about what happened to my coworker. Because I vape at 6, that's a 12. Well, the guy told me, the guy in the vape store, I don't know whether he was trying to do the whole hero thing where, like you try to make yourself seem better than everyone else. This dude told me he vapes 50. The salt nick that's supposed to be for the pod devices because you get less from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he uses that he said he drips it. He drips 50 nick. I'm sitting there worried about this fucking 12, and he said he drips 50. Which is crazy. That's fucking bonkers. Like, absolutely fucking bonkers. But that shit happened to me yesterday, and I didn't know whether he was trying to do the hero thing or whether he really did do that shit. But it was just absolutely like, what the fuck? And I noticed that since that shop has started selling CBD, they already had like stuff that you could buy in there, like bongs and stuff like that. But once they started selling CBD, that place is never empty like it used to be. Like never. That place is always packed. There's always a bunch of people in there. Because I used to go in and I was like the only person in there when I went in, and now there's always people in there, and I think maybe that's a good thing. Like I think that's a cool fucking thing. Like maybe the CBD is like helping their business, but CBD is fucking expensive. I want to try it, but it's really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like, yeah, this dude told me he dripped 50, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, so how's your week been, bro?
It's been alright. We just been kind of doing a thing. We found out my son had been watching porn, man.
Fuck yeah, man. Did you like outwardly scold him, but then inside you're like, fuck yeah, son? Like, did you do that? Like, did you have that moment?
No. Because Amber was like really messed up about it. Because he's only like 10. And he has autism, so he's really like mentally like 5. So we don't know if he's even processing what's going on or whatever. But it was like Teen Titans Go.
My man. See some Raven action, you know what I'm saying? That Raven. You know what I mean? I don't know shit about Teen Titans. I know that one of the ladies is named Raven. That's all I know. That's all I really know. But like, you know what? This happened to me a couple years ago. I was using my iPad because I was thinking the theme song for Satisfaction came in my head. And I didn't have my phone near me. It was on the charger. And I had my iPad near me.
For some reason, I thought you were about to say the theme song to Sanford and Son.
No. Satisfaction is a show, I think it's from New Zealand. It's from Australia or New Zealand. And it's about like, no one's on in a whorehouse. But I had the theme song stuck in my head. So I pulled up the iPad or whatever, and I searched for it, and I listened to the theme song. Wasn't nothing... like I had the song in my head and I wanted to hear it real quick because usually for me, if I got a song stuck in my head, it doesn't go away until I hear it. So, and then I listened to it, right? And then I realized that I don't use my iPad very much. My daughter does. So I went to her history to delete it out of the history. So I went to the history and I saw what she was looking for. She was looking for sex mods for The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I went through like her search history and stuff like that. And this is also when I found out that like kids who don't know how to spell, they tend to voice search everything, and Google records all of that.
How do you check that?
You got to go to your Google search history.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Google and go to your search history, you can actually play back the sound from that. So I went to my daughter and I was like, why are you looking this up or whatever like that? And she was just like, I didn't. And I'm just like, yo, I went back and I looked at the search history and I saw that you actually searched for this. Like, it's something that we need to talk about. And she was like, I didn't search it. And she got all defensive and shit like my daughter does. She's like super defensive. Nothing is ever her fault. So like that's when I found out about the Google thing. And so like I'm talking to her on the phone and like I play her back her voice asking for these things. And I was like, is that your voice? Because last time I checked, that's your voice. She was like, that's not me. That doesn't sound like me at all. Like she just like deny. But apparently a fifth grader, this was like when she was in like the third grade or something like that. A fifth grader was telling them about sex and she was trying to figure it out, but like her only access to this type of thing was through the Sims. So she was looking for a mod that would take away the blurriness and actually show her something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it all ended up being. Like it's crazy, but like my nephew went through a thing where God bless him. No, I'm not gonna snitch on my nephew like that. But my nephew finally got to the point where we all get to like this. The fucked up part about it is like we know about like Channel 99. You know what I mean? Like, because nothing else, like, but people my age, I don't know about your age, but we know about Channel 99. And we just had to watch the scramble to see if we could catch something. You know what I mean? Like, it was the porn channel on the cable box, but it was scrambled, and you just try to figure out, like, was that a titty? Like, like that type of thing. That's the only thing we know until we find, like, our parents' stash, which I did. but it's so easy to find now. Like, as soon as you get a whiff of sex, there is nothing that you can't find right now.
Right, but then the kids aren't smart enough just to stick to like Pornhub or whatever, because the thing is what triggered it. Where I was like, hey, let me see your phone. Because he has a phone that's like an older phone that we used to use that's not like with any like service or anything, just Wi-Fi for him to watch YouTube and shit. And because it was getting a bunch of notifications, and this had happened before, I thought, because he was trying to like do these free games, like free Sonic games .biz or whatever, and I'm like, hey, it's probably like giving him spyware or something. So I got rid of all that, and then it was doing it again to where like there was notifications about credit card stuff and all this. So he was going to like different sites that aren't like that safe, you know what I mean? So it was giving notifications to that. That's kind of how I saw it. So, but yeah, because the first thing was like the Teen Titans thing, and all I said was like, what you know about Teen Titans? He was like, you mean like Teen Titans Go and stuff? And I'm like, what you know about Teen Titans from yesterday? And he just got up, stormed off, and started like throwing stuff around, punching the wall and kicking Riley's toys around and stuff. He got really mad. But so
don't be salty you got caught, son. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm look, bro, I'm on your side right now, but I need you to let me know what's going on. That's kind of what I did with my daughter. Is just like, yo, this is what I need you to do. If there's anything that you need to know about this, you need to come to me or your mom, and we can actually put this in the proper perspective. Like right now, like there's a lot of things that's going on, and you hitting puberty, hormones, all that kind of shit going on right now. So like you need an adult that's gone through this to like kind of like focus your way through this. Like I didn't want to be that guy though. Like, see, I didn't want to be that guy that's just like, no, you shouldn't do this and blah blah blah, whatever. Nah, I know this is just something that happens. Like,
yeah, but that's kind of what we did, because it was like, like we don't want that to be the first. For one, when we're in school, we had like sex ed and stuff, that where we would have some sort of
Yeah, but
Like
like, bro, we didn't have real sex ed until ninth grade. Like, these kids are really out here.
we had,
Like,
I had real sex ed in 5th grade. Like they really talked about it, but yeah,
look, they gave us like a little bit here, a little bit there, but we ain't had that real until like ninth grade.
I
So
don't know, it
like,
was pretty real in 5th, what I remember.
I mean, well, I don't really know because technically I was already fucking in fifth grade. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, but I was already committing acts of sex at at that age. So like, it would it be wrong for me to like be mad at my daughter for being interested in it at the same age? That would be real kind of fucked up on my part. And that, you know what? That's a conversation that we're having. Like, we can finish this, but like, that's a conversation that I'm having. I'm in a Black Fathers group on Facebook, and somebody came up with a thing that said like, do you ever like apologize to your child if you go off and like you went a little bit too far? Like, and like, most people are just like, yeah. And then there's a couple people that's just like, no, I will never apologize to my child. I don't need to, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm just like, bruh, like, I'm not my dad. Like, for real? Like, do I really want to be my dad right now? And that's how it was with this whole thing with my daughter and trying to figure out what sex was. I had to really stop myself and go like, am I my dad? Because I got kind of upset about it at first. I was just like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? And then I'm just like, yo, dog, you are really acting like your dad right now, and I need you to be you. You know what I mean? And like, come at this from a different perspective, because like, like, my dad didn't understand. My dad wouldn't understand this. Like, my dad doesn't really understand the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, before my dad passed, like, he didn't understand the internet that much. Like, he was an older gentleman. You know what I mean? Like, that's not his thing. So like, I understand this. So like, I have to come at it from the perspective of me, as opposed to coming at it from like, like my dad's perspective, which would have made everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like, my daughter has to trust me. Like, and she has to trust that she can come to me with this. I'd rather be the one to have to suck it up and explain this shit to my child, as opposed to letting someone else explain it, and then she ends up pregnant at 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Riley gonna end up getting somebody getting pregnant. Riley getting somebody pregnant at 15. You know that, right? That's gonna happen. Young Rouse already got that. He already got that look in his eye. He got that look in his eye, like, I'm gonna be on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it in. Like, when I get 15, like pre-15, I'm gonna use a condom. Like, when I turn 15, it's all bets are off. I'm somebody getting pregnant around here at 15.
I don't
Young
know, man.
Rouse,
But
my man, Young Rouse. Shout out to Young Rouse.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I take that back. I don't want to curse you with no shit like that. I was just joking. That was just to me, it was a harmless joke. But if it actually happens, that's not a harmless joke at all.
Right.
So, see, like, man to man, I apologize for making a joke at your expense.
You're fine, man. Well, but yeah, that was our main thing. It's like, so he understands, like, what's, the difference between wrestling in high school and, professional wrestling. It's kind of like the same, like, the stuff on there is not really.
But see, here's the thing, and I'm about to make another joke at your expense.
Okay.
Here we go. Don't they say when you have autism, you end up finding something that you're really good at, like, you're like super good at? Like, my nephew was like super good at math. Like, what if sex is like the thing he's super good at? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if like?
But isn't that a part of like social skills, which is like?
You don't need no social skills if you're acting in a movie. I don't need to be friends with you for me to do this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to be cool. Like, they ain't even got to show my face. Like, all you got to show me stroking. Like, that's all you need. That's all you need. Like, show me stroking. Make sure you get my money shot. If we in there, dog. I'm not taking that one back because that was good. I pride myself on that one.
Okay.
I mean, what if? I mean, like I said, my whole thing in life when I was younger and didn't understand much about parenting. I said my whole job in life as a parent was to keep my daughter off the pole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real, like, that's my job, is to make sure that she gets an education and she goes to do something with her life that was meaningful and like all of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got a little bit older, I was just like, yo, if that's what she want to do, then I'll pay for the sewing classes, and I'll pay for the self-defense classes. I'll pay for her gun registration. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing, dance lessons. Like, it's real out here. Like, if my daughter decides she wanted to be on the pole, cool. Let's fucking do this shit and let's be a fucking headliner. Like, we not doing this like regular ass, like, throw some money at me. No, I need somebody to pay for you to be there. Like, for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need somebody to pay for you to even show up to the place, and then like you get your little tips or whatever like that. But you already paid. Like, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And so like I teach you. Look, I get you the sewing classes so you can make your own costumes. You ain't got to worry about nobody to do that. Self defense in case you need it. Your gun registration in case you need it. Like, these are all things that are beneficial to her if that's the career she chooses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying my hardest not to be my dad. Like, for real. Like, there is nothing. I just can't. I just don't want to be my dad. I can't do it. So, I mean, I understand like on a level, like, this has got to be some like weird shit to deal with, but you know what? This is some shit that we all go through, right?
Yeah.
And like, I really wish there was something that I could have came to my dad about. Like, yo, I'm having this issue. You know what I mean? Like, can you help me understand this?
Right.
So, I mean, as long as he, I mean, you, like, at this point, you know your son and you know how to explain this.
Yeah.
I just really hope that this doesn't turn out to be like a bigger thing than like, hey, I made this mistake. I went to the end of the internet that I'm not supposed to be in right now. Like, maybe I should dial this back some.
Right.
But if it's not, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you got it. Like, you got to get through like those initial feelings. Like, you got to get your feelings. You got to get past your feelings in order to make sure that you're not damaging his. You know,
Yeah.
because his are more important than yours.
Right. Is that still Sam? Oh, that was you.
That was me. See, this is why I turned my volume off.
I normally do too, but today I just forgot about it.
Man, let me tell you, you don't really watch the Marvel Netflix shows, do you?
Not, I mean, I wanted to, but I don't really have much time to watch anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I am watching. Daredevil season 3 with my girl. I've already watched it. And I love watching when the twists happen. I love looking at her for when the twists happen and seeing it on her face. Like, that shit just brings me so much joy. Like, that whole I'm just watching. Oh shit, did that just happen? And then like she has this thing now where we kind of some fucked up shit will happen and we just kind of look at each other and I was just waiting for it on the. There was like a kind of a really big twist that just happened in the episode that we just watched, and I just really dig those. I really dig those twists because like I knew the shit was coming, and I knew all of the breadcrumbs that's been dropped all season, but like I just waited for the shit to actually happen, and it's just like oh shit, and then the episode ended, and she just kind of looked at me like, did that just happen? Yes. I really dig that shit. That's one thing I dig about watching stuff with my girl because she had not seen pretty much anything. So like a lot of the stuff I'm watching like over for whatever time, whatever amount of times. But it's all new to her.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is so sometimes it's really cool, but like the only times that I don't like it is if we're both watching something for the first time because she pretty much watches like one episode a day. And I can't really function like that. Like I'll binge watch everything on the weekends. I'll get through a whole season of something, multiple seasons sometimes in a weekend. Shit, I watched all of the My Hero Academia that's on Hulu. I watched that in a week.
Right.
I'm really interested for when that comes back. By the way,
I think I listened to too much podcasts.
You think so?
I every now and again I'm like, hey, why don't I listen to just music? And I'm like, but I got these podcasts to get through this week or whatever. And then because if I go here, you can look at playback statistics. Mm-hmm. Every week I listen to 15 hours and 15 minutes of podcasts. Wow. So last week was 15 hours. In 2018 I listened to 15 or 14 days. In 2019 I've listened to 5 days so far.
Yeah, see, I wish I had the time. Like it was different for me when I primarily worked by myself and I could just put a podcast on when nothing else was going on.
Yeah.
But like because I work in an office now with a bunch of people, like I can't really focus on this stuff like how I used to. And then like in my case, like the biggest part of my job is answering the phone. So like the moment the phone rings, that shit has to stop.
Right.
So it's a lot more difficult to listen to the podcast. And then like, you know, like my commute to work. I listen to a lot during my commutes to work. I, you know, turn the speed up and listen on the commutes. But my commute is 8 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really get a lot during those 8 minutes. I can't really get that much in 8 minutes. No matter how fast I turn this shit up to.
Right, because I can only get up like 1.5. Like when you get up closer to like 2, it's just like too fast. Especially depending on who's talking.
Right, I can do 2 if the person that I'm listening to normally talks pretty slow.
Yeah.
But if they have like if the person that I'm listening to talks like me, I can't do it at 2 speed. Like you know what I mean? Like so I can't listen to someone who talks like me at double speed.
Right.
So yeah, it's just a little weird. You know a show that I can listen to at double speed and it's pretty all right. Angry Mailman. Shout out to Angry Mailman. They back.
Yep.
But that's a show like none of them like really go like are like super fast talkers or anything. They're all laid back Southern gentlemen. So it kind of works out at double speed, but it's one of those things. So, do you want to talk about some things that we've been kind of into this week? I only really have one thing outside of the Daredevil, which I've already watched and I've already talked about. I played a ton of Division 2.
So I've heard.
And even so, like I haven't painted much. I haven't put up a whole lot of videos. Like I have been out here on those Division streets. Like it's just been all about the Division right now. Really, dude? You don't want to turn your ring off just like for now.
Well, I didn't know that it was going to go crazy, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm playing just a ton of Division, and one thing I will say, it sucks that when we start talking about the Division 2,
Mm-hmm.
we have to start with Anthem was so bad. Thank goodness for the Division. You know what I mean? Like Anthem was so bad, and like all of these other games, like it's the first game like this. These MMO light games
Yeah.
actually launched complete.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Destiny didn't do it. The original Division didn't do it. Anthem certainly didn't do it. Like all of these MMO light games did not launch complete, except this.
Not
one.
even Division 2, or not even Destiny 2 launched complete.
Neither of the Destinies did. Like, and you would think that Destiny 2 was going to be a lot better than it actually ended up being, because it was one of those situations where they learned a lot from the first game, and then it was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe it was an Activision thing where Activision kind of pushed the game out the door, and it was just like,
Well, I think that they were trying to get those lost people back, so they made it a lot more casual, which then pissed off the people that actually stood around the Destiny 1, you know. So so they were trying to get back the people that didn't like Destiny 1 but pissed off the people that liked it the way it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't think they were trying. They were trying to appeal to too broad of a spectrum. They thought that the old people was going to be cool with this. You know what I mean? Like, and then they just realized, like, once the game came out, like, nah, ain't nothing but negativity in the community right now. So,
well, I've noticed that like completely. Like when's the last time that a AAA studio game has come out and everybody has just been kind of like all over it? Pretty much, games have looked.
God of War.
Well, yeah, but I've kind of like had like kind of a blackout on the PlayStation exclusives just because I haven't played them. I need to go back and play them, but I haven't bought a $60 like right out of the gate title in a long time because I didn't even really pay for Red Dead Redemption 2. That was on trade-ins of shit that I never played.
I bought this brand new. I hesitated on Red Dead, and I'm glad I did. But I bought this brand new, and it's been like a lot of fun. Now the only problem is like some of the people that I would be playing with, like you and Blue and stuff like that, y'all have it on PC, and I didn't want to spend my whole experience sitting right here.
Right.
Like that was my thing. I just didn't want to be sitting here for the experience. But my cousin is all about it, and like he plays way more than I do, and so like he's been level 30 for like a week already,
Mm-hmm.
and like so like. But the cool thing about it is like when you get matched with someone that's not your level, you even if they join your thing, they raise you to that person's level or like one level under it. And like and it just still works so well because it has like your level. So like right as of right now, I'm like a 24 or 25, somewhere around there. I'm close. I'm getting close to my 30. But it'll say like 20, like it'll say like if I'm a 15, it'll say my normal level 15, but it puts a little symbol in the corner that says like, but we're acting like you're 29 right now.
There was something else that did that. I can't remember what that was because when people were talking about that, there was something else that did that.
Dead Island did it. Um, I know for a fact Dead Island did it, but the weird thing about Dead Island was it didn't necessarily do it the same way. But what it was is like if me and Scott played a lot of Dead Island together, and like so like we are both looking at the same enemy, but we are looking at the enemy that's on each of our levels. If we were not on the same level, so like if I'm a level 10 and he's a level 5, I'm looking at it and he's a 10 to me, but he's a 5 to you, and he still reacts as if he is our level.
Well, there was a game to where like your stuff would be like yellow while you're with the other guy, and it would be like kind of a temporary level boost. There was something else. I don't know if that was Diablo or not, but there was something.
No, I don't. No, Diablo doesn't scale like that, especially not in the rifts. That's the reason why I got boosted up a lot. Playing the game with Def on Xbox, because he would be like he'll put us in a rift, and like it'll be like a torment, whatever the fuck level rift, and he'd just be like, yeah, just stay back here, and then we'll stay back there, and then all of a sudden our levels are just popping. And like we're like opening up all kinds of shit because he's so far ahead of us, and he's just blazing through all of this stuff, and so it was just kind of cool. But like this, it actually like it actually really works. And then the automatically leveling off, I can't remember what they call it, in the dark zone. Like I actually played some dark zone, like, and it was like. And the thing about the Dark Zone is they also scaled down the number of people that are in one Dark Zone. So, like, I didn't really see a whole lot of, like, real people in the Dark Zone this time. But we did go to the areas, and then we killed the NPC characters in the dark zone, and we did see if fight against a few regular people, because in order to get the really good stuff, like, you got to go rogue, like, and you just walk up to this like console on the wall and you just press it and you can make yourself rogue. And like that was like super fun. I'm like a level 13 in the dark zone, which was like like the dark zone is like super fun, and I had no fun in the dark zone previously.
Right.
Because the dark zone was like a kind of a like at your own risk type situation, and whatever you went in there with, it was like, all right, you want to here with this level 20 stuff, good luck, you know what I mean, like. And I think they're going to change one of the dark zones or something like that to be on that level where it's you go in and with whatever you have. But I like this version of the dark zone where everybody is pretty much on equal footing. It has worked out a whole lot better for me. Now I have no cares about playing PvP at all. So like the conquest stuff, I don't care about at all. But I'm like super enjoying this game. It's just really hard to play the by yourself. If you're by yourself, you're just gonna die. Even if the people that you're fighting are a lower level than you, like in most cases, you're still gonna die.
Right.
If you're by yourself. So so that's been really cool. Like I even had like people just on my friends list, people that I haven't gamed with like ever. But I on the 360 I had a full friends list because of the podcast or whatever. People would just send me friend requests. So there's people that I don't remember ever really talking to that'll see me out there on the division because I appear online like during this week. And they'll be like, "Hey, can I play?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, come on in. Like, you can come on in and play, and you're just as welcome in whatever level you are. You can still do the same things that we do, which is kind of cool. I dig that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of working towards the end game right now. Um, I would love I would love to be able to play anything else, and I would love to be able to do anything else because, like I said, I haven't been painting or anything like that either. Um, but like it's been like when I have a free moment, I try to get some division in because I really would like to be a level 30 and try to get some. I really want to do the grinding part now which is weird for me to say because that's usually the part where I just kind of bow out. Like I get to whatever the max level is, and once you start going by your gear score, your light level, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, I'm usually out of. No, I think I might try to see what I can do here. And then like since my cousin is like a much higher level than me, like he just drops a ton of gear for me. So like I keep having to put stuff in my stash because I got like level 28 through 30 stuff that I can't touch anytime soon. And
Right.
I have all kinds of stuff. It's really I just find it to be it's so much fun. It's a challenge, but it's still worthy of playing. I will say there's a glitch that they just did a patch and they didn't fix this glitch. Here goes. You know the little seeker mine?
Yeah.
Seeker mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that actually breaks into smaller seeker mines and go and finds people and just kind of blows up.
Uh huh.
There is currently a glitch to whereas the part where it pops into the smaller pieces, if you tap the button, the shoulder, whichever shoulder button it is to act to that you use to activate that, if you tap it more like if you're using like a single shot rifle, that kind of like tap 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 type thing. If you do that, the mines keep coming out when it splits. If you catch it at the right time, you can do that about 6 or 7 times, and it just fucking wrecks a whole area.
Hmm.
They put out a patch, and they did not patch that out yet. So fuck yeah, man, use that shit while you can.
Nice.
Yeah. So what you have going, man?
I I actually haven't played the division in a little bit. For one, I need to find some people to play with because most people are on with you on the consoles or like Blue and a couple other guys. I just haven't had time to like figure out when we can play. You know what I mean? And I know Holy Headshot is on there, and I know AZ Rockslide got it on the Xbox and the PC, but I don't know if he's actually played it on the PC yet.
Right.
But
I would be willing. I would be willing to inquire about a PlayStation version. I still do not want to play a game that I'm going to put that amount of time into sitting here. Even if I do the fucking the little Steam Link thing, I don't want to do that. Like not for this. Like I just
do it Steam Link on your phone. It, play the Division on your phone.
no, no, I'm good. I can't do that. I did well, I don't know where it is, but I do have one of those cables where you can plug in a wired controller to your phone. It's one of those things that plugs in the bottom of your phone and then you plug your
Well,
USB to
you
it.
can you can do a Xbox One controller to your phone, just Bluetooth. It's a Bluetooth device.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Actually, the whatchamacallits work too. As I understand it, the Switch Joy Cons work through regular old Bluetooth too
Hmm,
for your phone or your PC.
that's cool. Yeah,
Never did figure out how to get the Bluetooth to work on my PC.
yeah. I don't have Bluetooth on my PC. I'd have to get a little dongle to hang off my PC. But I I did mod Half-Life 2 and Jesus Christ, that shit looks fucking good and plays like how it plays is like greatness, like because they really like changed how the guns play and the guns sound. That like it has like hit markers and like what is it called, haptic feedback, where you like, because before it was older, it was before Call of Duty and stuff, so it was a little floatier, but they really
Did you
grounded it.
did you say haptic feedback? I forgot you eat your H's. It's haptic feedback.
Well, I was actually not eating my H then. I was trying to think of the word. But
Okay.
But yeah, like, so it's called an M mod, like 2M's mod, but it's really good.
So it's kind of the mod.
Yeah, it's the mod. But the only thing, here's the thing. At first I was like, should I support this shit? But they cut ties with this dude. Okay, here's the thing. There's this dude who's like an edgelord of edgelords, I guess. Like sometimes you're like, people, can take a joke, right? But sometimes the joke just isn't funny. Sometimes there is such a thing as a what you call it, tasteless joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, he was joking about the New Zealand shooter, like something about that that he like supported it or something. But and then he went so far as to take the shooting sounds of the shooter and putting those sounds of his rifle into the mod.
Okay.
So, and people were like kind of up in arms about that. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Like, I mean, I understand sometimes people are going to get their fucking shits anywhere, but if it's in war or whatever, or like but most of the time they shoot weapons and get them in a, not like some crazy guy shooting actual people, you know what I mean? In your video games. I mean, I mean, maybe there's a game out there that has like fucking Columbine guns in it or something, but I don't want to know about it. So, but that guy, after all the shit that went on with him, he ended up quitting, and they have cut ties with him, like the modders, the mod team or whatever. So okay. The New Zealand shooter guns are not in the game. That was just a big, like, edgy joke that he was making. But it's also just not really that funny. Like, okay, you're just trying to get out for attention, dude. But
yeah.
So yeah, that was weird.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. People just want to be famous so bad that they'll just do shit just to be infamous, and they just confuse the two. Like, being infamous is like nothing you really want to be, dog. Like, I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to go that much further into it. But like, people confuse fame and infamy these days. Like, yeah, like you think that you're doing something clever by trying to big up somebody who killed a bunch of people. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, and people just like you'll hear about someone famous, like a YouTuber or something, like getting a lot of heat for something they said, and then people were like, oh, freedom of speech. I'm like, right now, if me or you went on Facebook and started spouting some freaking crazy ass fucking shit, we could lose our jobs. That's fucking real life. Like,
and freedom of speech, like, people do that for whole freedom of speech. And I know I've said this a million times before. Freedom of speech only protects you from speaking out against the government. It does not protect you from dumb shit you say on your own.
Right.
And just because you're free to say it, that doesn't mean that you're free from what happens to you after.
Right.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, because there's freedom of speech, and then there's the freedom of me pressing my fist up against your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the freedom of press is. Pressing my fist up against your face for saying something stupid.
That's up against your face really fast.
Yeah.
That is the show title, Freedom of the Press.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. If I can figure out which tab. Because I always have like a million tabs open.
Yeah. I also went back and started, the Call of Juarez games? They're like Western games, but they're like But
I've heard of them.
yeah, I played like not the first one, but the first one that kind of got some traction, which was Bound in Blood. And there's parts in it where I'm like, this game doesn't really have the right to look this pretty. Like, there's some things you're like, yeah, it looks like a game from 2009. But every now and again, you're like some sort of sunset or just some sort of scene with like a bunch of vegetation. You're like, okay, why didn't they make the rest of the game like look this freaking detailed? Like, what the hell? But the other thing is like you start out and you're a Confederate soldier.
Oh, I'm out.
But something happens and you fucking desert, and then because you're like,
That's why I had to stop playing World at War. I like playing the multiplayer World at War, but like when they make you play as the Nazis, I'm just like, nah, I can't do that. Like it's weird like being on the team and they just make you the Nazi team and like you're actively trying to win as the Nazis and you're just kind of like I don't know if I can do this. Like this shit don't even feel right in my soul right now. I know it's just a multiplayer game, but like trying to win as a Nazi does not feel right to me.
right.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off. Do you know?
But yeah, like they desert and stuff. So they're like, just little into all this shit, So they're so it's not so bad, but it did feel a little weird. You're like, huh? Never really known much games to be like, yo, you're a Confederate soldier. I don't even know many games that's like Civil War games.
See, here's the thing. Like, it's hard to do a Civil War game because, like, depending on which side you're on, like, you can point to like who was the greater evil, which is the reason why World War II is the most popular war to do something or to do a game on because there was a clear and present evil there. Like we know where the evilness came from. There is a line and we all understand where that line was as opposed to like other wars like the war in the Middle East like like the bad people don't have a uniform. You know what I mean? Like so like while we're calling them bad like you know it's easy for the some people to see them as just people trying to take up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And like when during World War II, like it's clear, there's a clear line. Nazis bad. Anybody cool with the Nazis bad. So like that's the reason why there's so many World War II games, and the reason why they keep coming back to it because you have a clear and present danger that you can build your game around.
But except for 2019, it's like Nazis. I'm not wrong.
I'm about an hour away from Charlottesville, though. Like,
yeah. But
I just suck that it just sucks that the whole Charlottesville thing had to happen here. Like bruh, like Virginia for the last little bit we're just taking so many L's. It's not even funny, man.
but the Charlottesville thing couldn't happen anywhere but Charlottesville because then it wouldn't be Charlottesville.
Right, but you know what the fuck I meant.
Yeah.
Somebody got like
you wished it was like Birmingham or some shit.
Not necessarily Birmingham. Like I don't want it to be like Birmingham. Like whatever the small town is near Birmingham. Like okay, like if y'all did it there, like I can understand it more. Like not a major metropolitan area in the South type thing. Like,
right.
If it was fucking like Coonville or some bullshit like that. Like,
really?
I mean, you'll be like, all right, man. They call the place Coonville. Like, what exactly are we doing here? But like, just like, I just moved up here. Like I hadn't even been here that long, and like Charlottesville was just kind of like a, hey, we might want to try to go to Charlottesville. Like it seemed like a cool thing, and like University of Virginia is there, and all that other stuff. Like it seemed kind of cool. And nah, we good. I never like. There's a place like in that way, in that that area of the state or whatever. And you want to know, it's a place that I will never ever ever go to just because of the name. Now supposedly this place is in the Shenandoah Valley. It is very beautiful. You can go, you can get you a little cabin and spend some time there with your loved ones and have a great fucking time, but I will never go there because of the name of the place.
What is it?
The place is called Massanutten. The place is literally called Massanutten.
Oh man.
I mean, it's called Massanutten. Like, are you fucking serious? This place is called Massanutten?
Just just put an ain't between there, and then you'd be like,
It's
just chant
yeah,
that.
but look, think about this. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna check my facts
Uh huh.
before I say this.
On the fax machine.
Before I do this. Um. Okay, so I know that Thomas Jefferson is from like that area, and we know that that Thomas Jefferson was kind of on the black, was on the slaves like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is it called Massanutten because of Thomas Jefferson? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a thing because like there's like a lot of like black descendants of Thomas Jefferson right now because he was out here on them slaves like that. Is there a Massanutten because of Thomas Jefferson? Because he's from that area. You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It makes a whole lot of sense now. I don't know why I never thought of that before, but Massanutten is all because Thomas Jefferson. Have you ever seen that? Was it the Chappelle Show skit about the? No, it was a Key and Peele skit about doing those about doing those DNA tests for like black people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh, I'm related to Thomas Jefferson, like Thomas motherfucking Jefferson. Like they were all related to Thomas Jefferson because that was the thing. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet now. I kind of, like they always say that if you have to explain the joke, is not really like. But like if you hadn't seen it, like there was no other way for you to like really know this. All right, so I'm gonna look up Massanutten and see. I looked up. I looked up where. Okay, Massanutten is north of Charlottesville because Thomas Jefferson was from that area. So, like, did Thomas Jefferson spend some time up there? Like, I'm really like on this right now. Like, I'm gonna find this out. I think that's the name of a place because of Thomas Jefferson.
You're gonna like get your red string, start like putting on a map and shit.
I think so. That's gonna happen. Because, like, say, hold on, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check out one more thing. I saw where he was from. I'm trying to see where he died and how close it is to Massanutten. Okay, Massanutten is still north. It's still north. Okay, we got it. So I think that's what happened. But yeah, that's a place that I will never ever ever in life ever go. Like if I'm like traveling that part of the state and I run out of gas, I'm turning around. I'm not stopping in Massanutten, dog. I just can't do that to myself. I know that I just kind of took everything off on a tangent, and I apologize, and we probably should wrap this up. But that's just not something that I could ever do. Like the place is called Massanutten. Think about that. They named a city off of an act.
Yeah.
That Thomas Jefferson did quite often. Uh, okay, so before we wrap this up, you got something else?
No, I think I'm good, man.
I didn't really. Okay, here's the whole thing about the Massanutten thing. I didn't really want to end on the Nazi thing. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't really want to end on that, so I kind of took us off, and then I ended up staying there a little too long. For those who are listening, I apologize. Maybe Chase will trim that up a little bit. But if he doesn't, I apologize for taking you off on that tangent, because I didn't want to end on the Nazi thing. Like that just didn't. I didn't really want to be about that life.
But we're free spirits now, so we're not like sticking to no like.
Are we?
Yeah, we're not like sticking to no like. Hey, we got to talk about this. We still haven't really trained Sam on that yet. He's still like, oh, what are we moving on to? I'm like, hey man, we ain't gonna move on to nothing. We can just like talk about whatever, But
Yeah. When are we going to do our vape show? We have to do a vape show because I got too much vape stuff that I need to talk about.
We could do it whenever you want to, man.
No,
we should do a show from that town that you were talking about. The vape show.
We're not doing the vape show in Massanutten. But you would think after Massanutten, like he would probably want to hit a vape or two, kind of, because we don't do smoking no more. We off that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should do a vape show. I'm not sure exactly how. Because see, here's the thing that I was wondering about the vape show, and like people, y'all could be a part of this if y'all think something about it. Y'all holla at your boys. I have like a bunch of different like new juices and stuff that I've tried, new e-juice that I've tried. And I don't know whether I want to do it in like a podcast form where we just talk about kind of everything in one shot or a few things in one shot, or should we record a series of like individual videos where we try something or something like that.
Well, if we did it like in podcast form, I don't think it should ever be in audio format because I don't think it'll translate that well because we're going to be showing stuff and looking at stuff. Just have it on the YouTube and that's it, not make it in the audio because even if someone is interested in vaping and stuff, I think it'd be hard to listen to a podcast about vaping because it's very visual. You know what I mean? You're like talking about a mod and saying how it like performs or whatever. You can't hear it. You gotta, so you're all like silent and shit.
Oh, I forgot. I typically mute my mic on this show when I vape.
Yeah.
So while you were talking, I was vaping, and then I didn't realize that I was still muted until you said it. So, but I think that's a cool idea. I think we should do a video show where we talk about vape stuff because I got a ton of stuff I want to talk about, and then the process in which all of my coworkers are kind of switching, like they blame me for it, but like I didn't really do anything. I just I started working there and I vaped, and like
they just were like, wait a minute, I hear bad things about this stuff, but how could it be so bad when I smell like fucking cigarettes and he smells like Fruity Pebbles? Like what the fuck?
You try to smell fruity?
Why?
Actually, I do right now because I'm vaping chilled watermelon remix, and it is greatness.
Nice.
It is greatness. But oh man, I got some stuff that I've tried. There's this one that is a peach cobbler. and I love it so much. It's so good, so good. And I started ordering from a bunch of different places. I've ordered the Nord. I ordered a new tank. I ordered a Novo that I ended up selling, and I'm gonna get another. I'm gonna buy something else. Um, so like all of this stuff is happening and it's really exciting, and I don't really want to waste anybody else's time with this because we should work on our vape show. We got to figure out a day and a time and how to get the vape show out there to the people. The people need this. Anything you
Nice.
got? Anything you got left to say?
Um, nope.
Okay. Well, thank you to everyone who is checking us out right now, or everyone who is will check out the video or the show on the feed later. We appreciate you being around. We appreciate you giving Sherry and Rob a listen on the new version of Casual Conversation. That's gonna be an ongoing, changing, improving situation, and we're glad that y'all got in for the first episode of hopefully many. But we, there's a we're working. We're trying to make sure that we get that right, and and go and check out the Digicast, and yeah, man. So just thank y'all for doing everything that you do. Just going out there and doing the things. We appreciate y'all in every way, shape, or form that we can. Um, you know, sometimes we don't really quite feel up to this, but like once we get here and we do this and we're doing it for y'all, it makes us feel good to be able to do this for y'all. So thank you very much. Peace out to the Warriors, and rest in peace to my man Jay Bird and my man Big Boy. I'm trying to figure out how I can tie all of that in to the closing of the show, but I'm gonna figure that out. So peace out to the Warriors, and we're out of here. Until next time, this is Scarcasm for Chase. I'm Scarfinger. Scarcasm out of here. Yo.
Later. Should I cut it off now? Should there be an extra like little thing after the
No,
podcast?
unless you got something else you want to talk about, I think. You know what? Other than when I ground the show to a screeching halt, like I thought it was an alright show for like what we really had to talk about.
Yeah.
And now I have to mute my microphone no more because fuck this part of the show. Not necessarily fuck this part of the show, but like this is the part where we just kind of chill for a few minutes and just kind of exhale.
Yeah. And I thought it was kind of a cool little flow of the show last time, to where like after the music we kind of come back for a little after show, kind of. So
Yeah, I never listened to the show. I never listened to any of these shows. I don't listen. I don't get a chance to listen to a whole lot of podcasts anyway.
yeah.
So it's just really difficult for me to do at this point. Um,
So you're
so
like, if I can't listen to ADG, I'm definitely not listening to that freaking Scarcasm.
yeah, there's times where I can catch up, but like luckily for me, like they release episodes like biannually. So like EDG kind of works out for your boy because like this is like EDG quarterly and shit right now. So like it works out. But like here's the thing: when they release the show every quarter, by the time I get to listen to it, it's already old. So like I can't really comment on anything because like it's been like 6 months since I listened to the show. Like I'll listen to the show when they release like the second episode in 6 months. So I'll go back and listen to the first one and be like, oh yeah, they talked about this already. And then but it'd be like, all right, but like this shit came out in like January. It's like, man, fuck, I can't even comment on this because it doesn't make sense to comment on something that's like months old at this point.
Yeah. Because you'd be like, I see you. You played Destiny 2 on lunch. I see you.
Yeah. Um, but I do try to catch Angry Mailman close to launch. Like I try to get it at some point in the first week. Now, when I was playing a lot of NBA Live, It made it so that I can listen to a lot of podcasts while I'm doing that because I don't really need to listen to what's happening on the screen. For the Division, you need to because like people be walking up on you, like you can hear their footsteps and all kinds of shit. The sound design in the Division is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the sound design is really dope. I even watched a video about the sound design. I'm like all about the Division right now. It's bad. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, I noticed how the guns felt weightier to me
Yes.
than in the first game.
Yeah, I'm just it's just all around an improvement and like it's like I said, it sucks to say, but like finally we got a finished game. Not necessarily a finished, but like a complete game at launch.
Right. And that's
Every
kind of Ubisoft's thing, though. Like, pretty much every franchise of theirs, like the first game was kind of a tester. Like, does anybody ever talk about Far Cry 1? No, because it freaking sucked. Does anybody talk about Assassin's Creed 1? Maybe the people that are super hardcore, but most people don't freaking talk about that fucking game. It wasn't very good.
No, Blue loves Assassin's Creed. Like loves Assassin's Creed. I don't even know if he finished one. I finished one. I finished one. I ain't gonna lie. I did finish one, and I have barely touched an Assassin's Creed since, even though I own at least 5.
And then, same with the Division. You know, they always come back swinging with 2. Freaking Watch Dogs was terrible. But Watch Dogs 2, I've heard was pretty good.
Yeah. What do you mean you heard? So you haven't played yours either?
No, because I was waiting on you.
So you wouldn't even play the game by yourself. You just want to play the game with me.
There's certain games I'm like, yeah, this game would be more fun with somebody else.
I mean, at some point, I guess we'll get to it. I just, as of right now, it's all Division everything. I played a little bit of Live, but nothing really worth talking about. I started a new character, and like, my character got drafted by the Hornets. I talked about this last week, right?
Yeah.
So now I play for the Suns. I changed I asked for a trade, and I play for the Suns, and that's going pretty well. Um, and then my original character uh, plays for the Knicks now, which is kind of cool. I really dig that a lot. Um, but I haven't really done a whole lot. I did buy it for the PlayStation because like you could buy NBA Live right now for like $6, maybe even cheaper on like Xbox and PlayStation. It's like $6. So like if you even have like an inkling of like a thing where you kind of wonder like what a basketball game would be, of what and like even from like the basketball RPG standpoint, like it's $6 man. Like where the fuck can you buy a full ass game for $6?
Steam. See the keys.
Nah, like no, I'm talking about like that's like some like you know that's different,
Yeah.
especially on console. Like, can you really buy most console games? Like even heavily, even when it has like discounted, do you ever see like full releases at $6?
No, like they'll go down to like maybe 15, maybe like 20.
Right. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you want to get out of here, man?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to try not to spend the rest of my time as playing the Division tonight because I played till like 3 o'clock in the morning last night.
Nice.
Yeah, I really wish we would have gotten it on the same platform because this would have been fun to play together and with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to finish Division 1 at some point if we can just like mainline the story. Just
Well,
so I can say I finished it.
you can't really just mainline the story because it's like a lot of those story like you got to be the right level, and then like they make you do some of the side activities so you can be the same level as the mainline story.
Well, I mean, whatever we have to do.
Yeah. All right. I'm down. You just gotta let me know when.
Cool.
All right, dog.
All right, man.
Peace, brother.
Later.